Okay, welcome back to the discussion on packaged foods versus natural foods. Here's a great challenge for you. Instead of snacking on packaged foods, snack on alternatives instead, like natural alternatives. This could include nuts, sun-dried seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sun-dried fruit, sweet peas, beans, tomatoes, grapes, fruit, and yogurt, just to name a few. The idea is to have it prepared beforehand. After all, we all know that it is very difficult to grab a snack when you are in a hurry and running out the door, but if you have something prepared beforehand that is very healthy and easily grabbed or easily accessible, then it is far more likely to grab these things as you go. So with seeds and nuts, you could have them separated into small bags or containers. That way, when you do run out the door, you can simply grab the pre-organised snack box or the pre-organised snack bag. You will feel a bit more satisfied. You will feel better off for it. You won't feel gluggy or flat. You will be doing your body good. Not just filling it with junk food, but actually doing it good. And we've got to consider why we eat. Generally for a couple of reasons. For comfort or for some sort of emotional release. But the most important reason is for nutrition and sustaining ourselves. It is important we realise that when we do actually snack on food. Are we eating for emotional release? Or are we actually eating because we're hungry and feeling a bit flat? If that's the latter and you do need some extra nutrition, then you are on the right track. However, if you're eating because of it's an emotional release or you're going through a tough time at the moment, then that's important to realise that fact because you can swap it with some other more healthy food alternatives instead. Do you know, I sit at my desk sometimes and I get a bit hungry, or I'm walking through the house or feeling a bit flat and empty. What I do is I grab a snack, and obviously you snack to fill yourself up, but what I grab is the important piece. I often grab a piece of corn, or a piece of sweet potato, some sweet peas, or some string beans, and just munch on them slowly. It certainly fills me up well enough that I don't feel gluggy, and I don't feel as if I'm filling my body with some extra fats or some unwanted junk food. It's certainly not laced with all the chemicals and MSGs and those sorts of things. I do feel better for it. Now, some people do look at me a little bit strange and think, well, what are you just chewing on a piece of sweet potato like that for? Yes, it's raw, but my point is that I actually like the taste. It is very good for you, and it fills me up and gives me energy. So go back to your pantry or your cupboard, your fridge. Look what you can use as a healthy alternative rather than eating junk food. You will definitely thank yourself for it. So as I mentioned before, it's about being prepared. It's not hard to do, and if you're serious about having a slight chance of improving your future lifestyle and your health, then it's really an easy step. Packaged foods are mixed. Some are good, some are healthy, and some just are not. So you have to be careful about how they're labelled healthy. And even if they are labelled healthy, then are they really? Do they chemically enhance the flavour? Do they put flavour enhancers in? MSG, preservatives, pH balancers? Do they have a swag of laboratory numbers and ingredients list? Or are really, really long words that only your doctor or chemist would understand? And if so, then you should be able to do some research and find out what they really stand for. And avoids the foods that actually contain them. This can be a little bit difficult, especially if you have kids, and it's that word no that just make the healthy alternative. Sometimes when you say no to a child, it is very difficult. However, if it's for the longer term, then they'll eventually understand. You give them alternative and they'll understand. Something just as appealing, something just as colourful, something just as sweet, something just as filling. So making the right decision for your whole family means some sort of change, and no one likes change. Just do a little research to avoid some bigger problems later on though. However, a good mix of natural foods will be on the best solution for everybody. Take an apple. If your kids can't eat a whole apple, well then cut it up into smaller sizes. They are more likely to eat it then. Make eating these things fun. You get excited about healthy living and eating healthily. Your kids will eventually follow as well, and don't make a big fuss over it. It will just happen. A good variety is the key, and I stress that, a good variety is the key. Sticking with one sort of health food is not good because everyone gets sick of it, including ourselves. However, if you do mix it up, then everyone will enjoy it a lot more. And don't kid yourselves, because we're in the same boat. Adults are just like children, except bigger. We just like enjoyment as well with foods. And we've got to realize that we have to satisfy some of our more emotional needs as well. And that is that, yes, you do go out sometimes and eat a little piece of junk food. Just make the decision really wise. Make sure you're not sacrificing your overall health with what you're putting into your mouth. Some things are great, some things you should definitely avoid. And we'll go into that in another session. Okay, it's now time to reveal the answer to last week's question, which was, what food looks like the human brain? And of course, we all know it is the walnut. If you crack open the open shell, you look inside and it looks like the human brain. The walnut is the answer. And of course, it's a signature food to help aid and rejuvenate the brain. It is great for brain food. This week's question is rather tricky, but you got to think about it. And that is, what food is used to help heal your liver, is used on skin spots, and can be also used as a remedy with sore throats? We'll find out next week, so stay tuned. So this is the natural order of life, that if you want to sustain yourself, then you have to eat healthy. So as you can see, there are major differences between packaged foods and natural foods. But as a rule, if it comes in a packet, it has to be preserved. Now, the question is, how have they done so? Natural foods have a shelf life, then they go off and they just start to decay. That is the order of things, and that's what should happen. But if a packaged food can sit on the shelf and not go off, decay or decompose, then it is not food. And it is probably doing you more harm than good. So, in closing, we have to be careful what we put into our mouth. You have to ask yourself this question: what am I eating? Am I really eating food or eating some chemically unstable snack? There is a big difference. We just need to be careful. Be diligent about what we feed our bodies. Be diligent about what we feed our kids. Just a reminder as well that this is a family show, so if you do have some family members or friends that you would like to share this with, then by all means, share our link. If you do have any questions, comments, or statements, then put them through as a comment or an email through to info@myhealthandliving.com, and also check us out on myhealthandliving.com. There's great information, articles, blog talk, videos, and pictures there to have a look at as well. I'm Healthy Dave, and I thank you so much for being part of the show. Till next time, bye-bye.